Good day, everybody. Hi, this is Drunk Hockey Mom.
And this is Say What Zach. And we're here today to talk about what our predictions are for the 2019-20 season. It's a few days away, so we are putting out this video a little later than we wanted to, but we're getting the video out there.
Yes.
So, I guess...
Start with...
Yeah, we're going to start with...
The guy who knows everything.
Yeah. Still learning some stuff, but I know a little bit more. So we're going to start with the Atlantic Division. It's the division the Red Wings are in, so it's number one. I kind of picked... in the Toronto's in. So my two top teams, yes, Toronto and Detroit, are both in the same division. So we usually start with Atlantic. I have Tampa Bay winning the division. So they're obviously 50, the great season they had last year, number one seed, favorites. Didn't see much change this offseason, and I think they're going to come back with a little bit of a vengeance, getting swept out by Columbus last year, which was a humongous surprise. I was happy about it. I was like, wow, that was awesome to see that kind of stuff. Don't see that kind of stuff very often. So,
it was a shock.
Yeah, so I think Tampa will come back with a little bit more vengeance, a little bit more laid back. Don't think they're going to be as dominant as last year, but I think they'll still going to take the division.
Still got them there. Huh?
Yeah, and then second I have Toronto. So the big reason I have Toronto in second is I do think they beefed up that the defense a little bit. I know a lot of people are going to argue that, and it's been a big hot topic lately. But I do think Tyson Barrie's going to help, especially on the power play. And I think they're ready to take that next step. We'll see. Maybe a little bit of bias because I'm a Toronto fan, but we'll see. I think this is the year they get the home ice advantage. They can knock out the third place team, which I have Boston third place. I think they can knock them out if they have the home ice advantage. I agree that's what they've been lacking, is that home ice advantage. I mean, they've gone 7 games 2 years in a row against them. I think this is the year for Toronto. And then obviously third place for Atlantic, I have Boston. Again, going to the finals last year. I still think they have one more good push in there with some of these guys. Don't know how much longer they're going to be viable, but yeah, I just think they're going to be able to sustain it this year at least in the top 3. I can't see any other teams breaking that top 3 right now. But those are my top 3 for the Atlantic, and we'll go with what she's got.
Now, mine are not quite as based on fact, but more by going by the past season, what I saw them play, how they played, what they did. I'm still learning. I am a learning drunk hockey mom. So I'm learning how to do all the statistics and the numbers. So I'm going by more feeling and from what I've seen. I have, of course, in the Atlantic Division it's going to be Tampa Bay. I feel Tampa Bay, they've always been a thorn in our side here in Detroit. But they are good. They do the job well, and I think from what I've seen over the years that they can still hold their own. So I still had them going number 1. I am different with Boston and Toronto. I think Boston's going to be the second, only because I love Toronto. I'm a big Toronto fan.
You need to get proven though. You need them to prove it first.
Yeah,
a lot of people feel that way.
And so I have not seen it. I would love to be proven wrong. I think Boston still has a little more, like you said, a little more push, a little more grit, a little more. I just think they're just gonna do it. I think that they're more likely to be second, and then of course I have Toronto being third choice because, again, they've been working. They've been getting better over the years. They're trying to get their stuff together from what I've seen, and I think that they can with their home ice. Like you said, I think they can maybe do this year, and we'll see if we're right or wrong. But those are my feelings.
Big thing. Another reason is why I'm not sure is obviously losing Nazem Kadri. They don't have that grit. That's one thing that Toronto does not have. They don't have a grit. They don't have grinders.
Yeah.
Boston still has that. I think from what I've seen from the last couple of matchups, Boston's been able to outmuscle them, been able to wear them down a little bit more.
Yeah, they just seem to have that grit.
I mean, maybe they'll change this year. I don't know, but I feel like that's where Toronto loses to Boston most of the time. They just get ground down quicker than Boston does to Toronto.
I don't know why.
So Boston's built a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. I don't know if the skill's gonna be able to outbeat the brawn, I guess, is where I'm at right now.
Okay, all right.
But I'm hoping. Obviously, I have Toronto over Boston, so we'll see. But yeah, so we're gonna go over to the Metropolitan Division next. I have Washington Capitals #1 for the Metro. I don't know, won a cup 2 years ago. Kind of had a cup hangover last year, and I still think that team could make another run. They felt that taste of victory now. I think they could do it this year, as long as they all stay healthy. I think Washington could definitely be a contender for the Stanley Cup this year. New York Islanders, I have second. I liked what they did last year. I was cheering for them hardcore. They made that second round. I like seeing Barry Trotz be on the bench. I'm hoping Semyon Varlamov does pretty good. I like Robert Leonard, kind of stuff that they trade him out, but I'm thinking the Islanders can make another good push for a top spot. It's gonna be, the Metro is definitely, with I agree with most people, that's the toughest one to decide on. Most of the teams over there, it's gonna be a mosh posh of who's gonna make it, who's not going to, who's gonna end up where. I think this is gonna be the division that screws the most people on their picks. And then third, I have Pittsburgh, because Crosby and Malkin and Murray and Letang.
All the guys.
Yeah, they still have that core that's won 3 times now. There's some more questions. I have them dropping, but I think they still have a couple more years where they're going to be a contender no matter what. Those are my top 3 for the Metro.
Now again, mine are just feelings. I'm going, of course, with Washington. I have the same kind of feeling that Washington they've had a taste of it. I think that from what I've seen, they're playing stronger, better. I again, feeling they just seem to know that this is where things are going, and they know what they want, and I think they can definitely go ahead and make a push for that. My second choice is not my favorite choice, but again, going by how well they play, and I think Pittsburgh. And again, not because it's a favorite team, but because I just know that every single time it seems like they just seem to waggle their way in there, and I've seen it more than once, and I just have a feeling that they're going to be second.
It's hard to go against Crosby. As much as I don't like Crosby, I have to give him credit for he's one of the best players. They're good. Hands down.
They are good, and
you can't count out Crosby and the Penguins. You just can't until I see a significant drop. I can't do it.
Right, and that's why I think that I don't think they'll go all the way, but I think they're definitely going to be a big contender and a big part of the finals. I do. Last one is going to be, it's just, again, it's a feeling, and I don't know why. I've just been seeing them play. I really couldn't tell you any specific thing, and I do many things in my life by my gut feeling, and my son would always say that. A lot of things that I go by gut feeling turns out that way. I just have a gut feeling Carolina's going to be a contender this year, and I don't know why. It's a strong feeling that I have that between them playing, seeing how they're working together. Again, I have a strong feeling for Carolina.
A lot of people have Carolina doing good this year. I don't know if they have them.
I don't know why. I just do.
Carolina's one of those things where they made some changes. I don't know if the changes are good or bad yet. They had one really good run there. I don't know. It's one of those things in the Metro where Carolina could definitely be one of those teams. They could also miss the playoffs depending on how things work out.
And I think since what we saw last year with everything.
Last year bias, that's pretty much where I am with Carolina as well.
Just seeing last year and not just Carolina, but a lot of other teams, with Columbus and the people who won that you thought were not even going to be an issue. Islanders, but they shouldn't have been there at all. And so that's why I'm going with this. But Carolina, and then, so that's why.
Who saw the New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round?
Exactly. I know,
honestly,
but I
would never have guessed it.
Yeah. Didn't they do a rematch of?
Yeah, they did another NHL bracket challenge because of that. I don't know if that's a legit reason, but I'm thinking it is deep down. They had to do it because Tampa Bay got knocked out and it screwed over so many people's brackets. They had to redo it. Just so they could have a chance of having some kind of winner.
So feelings aren't all bad. Sometimes you just kind of know things can be shaken up at any time.
Yep. All right, and then we'll go into the 2 wild card spots we have. So I have Florida coming in at the first wild card spot. So obviously Florida will be playing against the Washington Capitals. I like what Florida did. I'm going to be a hardcore cheering for Florida this year. It'd be nice to see another team do something amazing, make another good run, especially I like Joe Quenneville. He's one of my favorite coaches right now. Not why I'm wearing the Blackhawks jersey, but I do like Joe Quenneville. He's the one thing I enjoyed about.
Yeah,
he's one of the reasons I did like my time in Chicago as much as I hated living through 3 Stanley Cup championships for that team. I do like Joe Quenneville. So I have him, and I like Sergei Bobrovsky. And the team's been just on the cusp of making the playoffs. I think those 2 additions plus Anton Strawman, I think Florida is going to make a good run this year, and I'm hoping. It'd be nice to see like a Tampa, Florida in the conference finals. That'd be kind of cool. Like that cross-state rivalry.
Yeah, I would like
cool.
that. That would really be great.
And then I second wild card would be New Jersey Devils. I know this is another hot button topic. Devils, a lot of people either have them doing really good or not doing much, miss the playoffs. I think they made enough progress in this offseason. I like Subban. I gotta go with Subban. I like Subban. Corey Schneider, even in the preseason so far, because this has come to the end of preseason when we're filming this, he's looked good. Jack Hughes, got to see him play in Plymouth. It was awesome. He's a really good player.
Very good.
It just seems like they have a nice group of young kids who, if they can pull together, I think they could make the playoffs and maybe surprise a few people. It'd be interesting to see New Jersey make a good run this year. I think they could. I think they could. Yeah. So really I have Florida, 7, the first wild card seed, and then New Jersey as the second wild card.
Okay, mine again by feelings alone. I picked Buffalo. Which is
why we have the Buffalo jersey.
There you go. A lot of it is because I've been hearing a lot of good things from my son, mostly when he's watching the game with his friends and talking about the players and how well they're doing. And as he's teaching me, I've seen that they're making some changes that are looking good. And I again have a feeling maybe they could just pull it out this year. Now Columbus. The reason I go with Columbus.
This is the one that I told her when she was deciding. It's like I'm not going to say anything, but that's a guess.
It's like pull her out of the hat. I know
it is.
But I was so proud of them last year, and I know things have changed. Players have come and gone, and I know that.
Like
I know,
top players,
but maybe this is my reasoning. My reasoning is this: that the whole team, maybe they've felt something or been through something, and I think maybe, just maybe, they might have learned something and they could pass it on, and it would just be, I guess, like betting on a horse. I'm gonna do the underdog, but I think Columbus might surprise us this year. Maybe not go all the way, but I think they're gonna surprise us a little bit.
Okay, let's see it again. All right. Again, I can't agree with that, but I respect, and that's one thing that we will do in this channel. We will always do is respect someone's opinion. If that's what they want, and then that's what they believe.
Yes. Go
for it. I'm not gonna sit there and judge you for what you're thinking and what you believe in. If I'm completely wrong, I'll be glad to admit it.
Yes.
Glad to admit it. Columbus makes it and does great, and be like, oh, okay, I was way off. Okay. So we're gonna move over to the Central now. So I have St. Louis Blues number 1. I can't pick against Stanley Cup champs.
I agree.
Especially if they just added Justin Falk. I don't know. I think they could make another run. Obviously based on Binnington. But yeah, I think that team is just, they went through something last year. We'll see. Back-to-back champions is hard to do, but I think St. Louis might have a good enough team, enough veteran, leadership there that they might be able to do it again. So I got St. Louis. And again, the Central, just going to put that in here, was another one of those divisions. It could really be almost anybody in that division. It's pretty well spread out.
So they're not very far.
No, they're all pretty good.
Yeah,
they're not too many outliers there. Like there's a couple in like the Atlantic that could definitely, you kind of know, like Ottawa, Detroit, probably aren't going to make it.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those like we kind of have we know where we're going to probably end up. We aren't stupid over here.
Exactly. We know what's going on.
But yeah, Central, I really can't see anybody being like, oh yeah, they're probably not going to make it. But yeah, so St. Louis is number 1 for me. I got Nashville Predators. I like Nashville. Pecorine, I think they want to try and do win one more cup before he's gone. Yeah, and they still have a decent group of core defensemen. Forwards are pretty good. We'll see. I would like to see Nashville do something, but never know. It's going to be such a toss-up. And then Dallas. I have Dallas Stars because I like the Joel Pavelski ad. I like Jason Spezza. Not Jason Spezza, sorry. Corey Perry. I like him add in there. And I think this team can maybe do it. They made it to the second round, I believe, last year. I think this team could make a push this year. We'll see.
My memory's
and I like Dallas. I like green's my favorite color. been a fan of Dallas since I was a kid because of that
How
reason.
about my feeling?
Yeah, kind of. There's a little bit of fact in there too for Dallas,
Yeah,
but there's a little bit of feeling in there too. So those are my top 3 for the Central. And then
my Central, of course, I also go with St. Louis. I think that they've got a taste of this. They've been wanting this. They've been working hard. I don't just see them dropping the ball now. I think that they're going to be somebody to a force to be reckoned with. I definitely do St. Louis there. Nashville, again, I've always been a big fan of Nashville and how they pull together their fan base. Seems to be very excited. I think that helps, to me, a hockey team. If you have a good, strong fan base and they seem to be really helping and pushing along, I think that helps the team. So I just have a kind of a like for Nashville, and I don't know why. Again, maybe it's because of family, maybe it's because, not that everybody really related there, but I have family from down that way. So it's just, I have a feeling for Nashville. Maybe it's an underdog thing. I don't know. But again, it's a feeling. I think Nashville is going to be somebody to be reckoned with this season. Last one, Winnipeg. Because I know they've been working on trying to get their team together. And so I'm just going to do it.
They did just sign Line A, though. So that's
See, now that I was not aware of.
Piece.
Okay.
That's why I don't have Winnipeg in there. Just between Line A, that health situation, Bufflin, and Kyle Connor, it was hard for me to put them in over someone else.
See, I am, because
if they have all 3 of those pieces, maybe Winnipeg can make it in. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for me.
So I'm putting Winnipeg in for him because I think that they're going to be somebody, again, to work with, and I just have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of Winnipeg than we thought we would.
Yep. Again, they could be
Feeling.
Central Division again. It's kind of like I said, the Metro. It's going to be a little bit of a toss-up for the Central. So we're going to go Pacific now. I have the Vegas Golden Knights, number 1. I honestly have them picked to go to the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I think they're the best team in the Pacific. I cannot see them making it any less than 2 rounds into the playoffs right now. They're a well-rounded team. They play well. I think they're good. I think they have a good formula there in Vegas.
They do. They do.
And again, most Pacific teams have lost a little something, I think, this year. So I think Vegas they're going to take the division without a whole lot of struggle. We'll see. Calgary Flames, second. They had an awesome year last year. Like Calgary, one of my favorite teams in Canada besides Toronto. I just don't know, again, with a lot of them having career years last year, if they can make that. And also the trade for Cam Talbot and Mike Smith. I don't know how I feel about that one. But yeah, we'll see. I hope that Calgary does good, but I think they're going to fall a little short compared to Vegas. Then San Jose Sharks. Again, losing Joe Pavelski was a huge hit. I know they're not a young group. Martin Jones has some questions, but I also can't see a whole lot of anyone else in that division taking San Jose. LA, I don't think can do it. I just Arizona. I would love to see Arizona jump in there, but I don't think so. But we'll see. But those are my top 3: Vegas, Flames, and Sharks for the Pacific.
Okay, now San Jose. I guess is who I picked, and the only reason being is because before.
Yes, that's who you pick.
Yeah. Well, this is the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because I've known them to come from behind before, and I keep saying again. I apologize for that. It's just I've seen so many things over the last couple of seasons that I thought this would never have happened. With the Vegas Knights and Columbus, and it just, to me, having seen what this team's done before, I just have a feeling they're going to be in one of the playoff. I don't know how far they're going to go again, but I can't count them out. That's just my feeling. I have a San Jose. I'm not a big push for San Jose because, again,
you're not a big fan of the Pacific Division anymore.
I'm not. They've always kind of been.
Well, you also go to bed kind of earlier. Like you don't watch a lot of their. Well, she goes to bed around 9 o'clock.
I do.
They're late games.
They're late games
They're
here.
hard to watch sometimes.
We live in the Eastern time zone, and it's a little hard to stay up that late when you have to get up for work in the morning. But but I don't watch them that much. I just know the times that I have watched them, they've always seemed to have a way of getting under our skin here in Detroit. So
Detroit, with us being that division, the West, San Jose knocked us out a lot, and it was kind of annoying.
And the other two that I'm picking are just very much
So just like I said with Columbus, not ones I would recommend, but hey, I let her do her thing. I gave no influence on her choices.
Because he's teaching me, and I'm trying to learn, and
Yes.
the statistic thing.
And hey, she may completely surprise some of us.
Totally confusing to me. I'm trying to get the understanding. I really, really am. It's just I don't have as much time. I'm hoping to get more and more time to learn what I should be looking for and the numbers and why and who's doing what. I am trying. I watch the games. I enjoy the game immensely. So that's why I'm trying to get better at the players,
the
get to know them better, behind the scenes stuff. Yes, but I again have picked San Jose first, and then I have Arizona only because I just kind of feel bad for them. I want them to get somewhere. I want them to do something.
I would love to see Arizona do something.
But,
just again, kind of like a Florida thing. I'm cheer for an underdog. Arizona has never really done much. I would like to see them at the playoffs. Why not? I was cheering for them last year too.
Yeah, I just if they can even just make it the first round, I would be so happy for them. I just want to see them do something and make a point for themselves. That's why I put Arizona. And then LA Kings, because they have been, again, a team that has been hard for us to deal with. So, not that they've shown from what I've seen.
I mean, I like LA because they knocked out Chicago a couple of years when they won the Stanley Cups.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I like. That's one reason I don't like that they took the captaincy away from Dustin Brown. That was kind of I didn't like that. But
so he has a lot more understanding.
Yeah, I'm a little neutral on the Kings. I like some things they've done. I've also not liked some things they've done. I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. I think their scoring just isn't there. But again, I gave her no influence.
I'm going by guts here, guys. Just by guts. And that sometimes it gets me a long way. Sometimes it gets me nowhere. So we'll see.
Yep. And then so our 2 wild cards. My number 1 wild card, I have Colorado in the West. Only reason I can't have Colorado a little higher, and again I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure people will let me know. Mikko Rantanen, if he holds out and doesn't sign with them, and he doesn't play into the season, kind of like a William Nylander thing. I think that top line doesn't quite make it as good as it was, and Colorado doesn't quite reach the potential they had with that top 3 with McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. I think that line carries that team. Without that line intact, that team is going to fall a little bit. Still make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to get as high as some other teams. And then second wild card, I have Chicago Blackhawks, which is why I'm wearing the jersey. I don't like Chicago. Had to live through 3 Stanley Cups in that city, but they are a good team. They have Taves and Kane, Crawford. I think they've got some good veteran defensemen in there. They got Robin Lehner. I think he could have a great year behind Craig Crawford. I think this is going to be one of the last years for Chicago. They're going to make a real push and be competitive for a cup. So we'll see. We'll see. I think, like I said, I think their time is coming up with all this veteranness on that team, but I think they can still really push for a cup this year. But again, that's why I'm last seed, because again, Central Division, it's going to be tough. So I'm not sure, but that's how I'm seeing it.
And then, again, you might be right too. Mine, again, all feeling. I have Minnesota. Again, I want to see them do something.
Great logo.
But the logo alone is a selling point for my son.
It is my favorite logo in the NHL.
I'm a Minnesota fan only because I know that they've always been the underdog. I guess I'm a cheerer for the underdog. I don't know why. So I'm gonna put them down there, and I'm gonna say, yeah, we're gonna even the wild card. I think they might say, hey, we're still here. And then of course I have the Vegas Knights. Only because I think that they just can't keep doing this. They came in like a torpedo, and I'm thinking at some time it's got to fizzle. I could be wrong, but it just seems they came in such a full force. Through my life, everything I've seen, it came in such a full force. It can't last that long. It just can't. So that's why I'm thinking they're going to be the last spot in the wild card, because I think maybe
they could drop.
They could drop. Maybe is it overconfidence? It's their turn? I don't know what it is. I just don't see that streak going much more. That's me. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, again, these are all like most people's opinions, and some are based on facts and figures. But no one's gonna know until the season starts in a couple,
and
4 days out.
Yeah, 4 days. Once the season starts, when he sits down and starts educating me more, I might come
We're
back.
planning on watching a lot of hockey this year. Like
Right.
I've always have, but we're gonna really try and buckle down and watch even more this year for this channel to try and keep up to date on how we're seeing things, how we're enjoying it, the traveling we're gonna try and do to hit up ice arenas, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but this is gonna be a good year. I think it's gonna be an awesome season, and hopefully see some breakouts this year. That's what I'm hoping for. But
that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to Hughes. I know for sure. I just can't wait to see him out there playing and see what he has to bring. And then I like Subban. I am a big PK Subban fan. I want to see what he's going to do over there. I want to in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I'd like to see New Jersey. I'm
excited for New Jersey and to see what they're going to do with Hughes and Subban, and I'm excited for them. I want to see how they're going to work together.
I felt like I guess my big thing here, kind of my closing thoughts here. For several years there, it felt like we got Chicago, LA, Pittsburgh, Washington was kind of up there. Yeah, we had like the set kind of, okay, we know these people are probably going to make at least the conference finals. It feels like the changing of a guard kind of lately, where teams that weren't doing great are starting to do better, and teams that weren't winning cups are now winning cups, like Washington and St. Louis. And this year again, we have like a lot of people picking Tampa Bay or Toronto, like people who haven't won in a long time. It feels like that changing of the guard is happening, and it's cool to see because
very cool and exciting. Yes,
I don't want things to get too stagnant unless it's the Red Wings.
They can win every year, but we know that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'd be okay with that.
I was okay with that in the 90s. It's so weird. But yeah, now I don't want to see the same teams. I was like cheering for the teams who haven't won it, and I like seeing that change in the guard again.
Yes.
I feel like that's what's happening this year, hopefully.
Everybody gets a chance to show their stuff, and different teams, and just like you said,
different fan bases get to experience it.
Exactly. It's such an exciting thing to win that Stanley Cup, not just for the team and the players, but for the city and the fans, and it's a very exciting thing. And yeah, as many people can experience it, the better. Great, it's a wonderful experience. So
yeah. So that's our thoughts on our standings for the 2019-20 season. Again, it starts in a few days, and let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up, a like, follow, all the above. So yeah,
we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And, if you want to educate even more, if you have more ideas on how I could learn or where to learn or whatever, I'm open to that too.
Yep.
I'm out there to learn it, and I want to be a better part of this. So
all right,
let me hear from you.
Yep. And this is Say What Zach and
Drunk Hockey Mom.
All right, and we will talk to you guys again later.
Good day.